fast this morning. Technology and preaching, I suppose, at the same time. It's good to be with you again today. And I encourage you this morning as we continue through our series in Job. Turn to Job chapter 38. Job chapter 38. We're almost done with this book, which I imagine many of you might not have thought we'd get through it quite this quick. We've been going kind of high over Job so we can get the whole thing and understand what's going on instead of plodding through verse by verse. So this morning we're going to be going from chapter 38 to chapter 42, verse 6. And then next week we will complete the book of Job. Then after that, just by way of a little bit of announcement, I'll take a vacation for a week, and I'll have a friend of mine come and give a word to you from Hebrews, if I'm not mistaken. And then we'll pick back up in John after that to finish out John through the rest of the year. But for those of you that may be taking notes today, the title of the message is Purged by Power and Wisdom. Purged by power and wisdom. And I think that's fitting because that's what seems to happen to Job. He's actually purged of some of his sins. He repents of them because of the power of God and the wisdom of God and how God worked with him and dealt with him and such. And as we have been doing, I'm not going to read a specific or read all of these chapters this morning. That would simply take too long. So I'd just like to open up in prayer this morning. Let's pray. Father, Job is a wonderful book, Lord, for us to learn from. And Father, not only to learn of ourselves, even as we look at this book, this wisdom here, but we learn primarily of you. Of your wisdom, your power, your glory, and Lord, and your justice. I pray that we are prepared to see that today, Lord, and that the words that I speak be in line with your word, Lord, that the Spirit use this time to nurture us, that we be fed, Lord, this nourishment that is your word, we so desperately need in this world. And so, Father, I ask that you bless this time. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Now we all know, as I've been thinking about this, the book of Job is about suffering, right? That's pretty obvious. And even if we don't know all of the names of his friends, still, the book of Job has been rather unfamiliar to us. We still mostly know that it is about suffering. But it's interesting, as we come to where we are, as God responds back to Job, we not only see that it's about suffering, it ends up being about something more than that. It ends up also being about the justice of God in his world, but also about God leading Job in holiness and repentance in the middle of suffering. Not just giving an answer to Job in suffering, but actually helping him deal with his own sin in the middle of it, which is something I don't think, at least I don't, usually think about when we're in the middle of suffering. Now, when we hear the word suffering too, we usually think of big, hard, difficult things, don't we? But let's process this. Let's figure out where our hearts are when we think about these things. What do you do when you are in pain? Think about the last time you stumped your toe. You probably look at your toe and go, oh man, and maybe say a few words. It's probably a lot louder than that because it actually hurts pretty bad. Or maybe you get a splinter. What do? You go directly to the splinter and you look at it and see what's going on, what's happening with it. As small or as big as it may be, right? Or maybe you break a bone. I remember I've told this story before, but when I broke my arm, I was about 13 years old. I I looked at my arm because it was obvious. It was broken. It went this way, then it went down, and then it kept going. But the point is that when we're suffering, when we're in pain, our focus tends to go directly to the issue, doesn't it? And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you look across the book of Job, what you notice is that Job has been looking at his pain. And when Elihu shows up to speak truth, and then God shows up to speak truth, the perspective changes a little bit, and it's not just looking at his pain outside of himself, wherever it may be coming from. He actually starts to look within himself, not for help, but to deal with sin in the middle of it. So in fact, oddly enough, what we find is that in the middle of suffering, God teaches us and is merciful enough to us, well, to lead us in holiness too. And so when we suffer, our focus is usually on the suffering. And what do we want? We want to be relieved of it. We want the splinter out. We want the break healed. We want our toe to be healed. We want the pain of whatever may be in our lives to be gone. Whether that's an individual, or whether that's loss, or that's pain that we can't even describe. But let me ask you this perhaps a different way. Is your sin ever on your mind when you suffer? It's not usually on mine, is it? What an odd thing to think about. It's usually the furthest thing from our minds. But what I want to chase today is this one. We always want an answer to suffering, right? But what God gives is a purging of sin. And because He gives that, we have a deeper relationship with Him. And suffering allows for those things. So I want to chase 2 points this morning. Number 1, we need to be humble before God's power. We need to be humble before God's power. Number 2, we need to submit according to God's justice. Now, as I say those things, they sound rather difficult, aren't they? How do I be humble before His power? That's not exactly what I want when I'm hurting. Or maybe to submit according to His justice. That's not exactly what I'm looking for either. I want an answer to my pain, my heartache, splinter in my soul. What I hope we find is that this is far better than a simple answer. And so just to recap what's happened in Job so far. Remember, at the very beginning, there was this interesting divine council going on. That adversary, Satan, was saying, I bet Job only fears you because of what he has. And then what happened? Well, he lost all that he has. And then he said, well, I bet he only fears you because his life is okay. His health is pretty decent. And then he lost that. He had sores all over his body. It was miserable. But he was still able to say, the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. He remained faithful. But what we saw as his friends started interacting with him is that he was getting worn down over and over again. So from chapter 4 all the way to chapter 26, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar are just going after him, one right after the other. Job, you must have done something wrong for God to punish you this way. And over again, he's told, it must be that He's punishing you. You have sinned, Job. And Job says, no, I have not. I am in the right before God. And we understand when Job says that, he doesn't mean that he's not a sinner. He knows that he's a sinner. But he hasn't just absolutely rebelled against the Lord. And he's right. But as we see that transpire, what ends up happening when Elihu comes on the scene, he says, Job, in all your suffering, you are right before God, but pride has jumped up out of your heart. And Job essentially said, well, I know I'm in the right. And he looked to God and questioned God's justice. I know I'm right, but I don't know what the Lord's doing. And so then Elihu essentially rebukes Job, corrects him, tells him the truth of how his world works. And then in steps God in the middle of a storm. And so we need to ask, well, what does God teach Job then when we come to these verses? And so the first thing is, he teaches Job to be humble before his own power. He teaches Job to be humble before God's power. Now notice when we look at this, when we start off in verse 1, then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Dress for action like a man. I will question you, and you make it known to me. Seems as though he just kind of left Elihu out here and didn't say a word to him. So I think the way this works is that Elihu's answer and God's answer are two parts to a whole answer. And then we have the second part as he addresses Job. This first one can kind of be divided into two things. First off, from chapter 38 all the way to chapter 40, verse 2, God challenges Job to understand the universe. So essentially, remember what Job did was, like I said before, he is questioning, he's murmuring against God. I don't know how your universe is run, but it doesn't seem like you're doing a wonderful job. That's where his heart was. Even though, yes, he was in the right. So how does God respond to that? Well, again, what he said to Job. Who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Come on, Job, stand up, dress for action like a man. I will question you, and you make it known to me. Then notice, and this is fascinating, you can keep track of this. For verses 4 and on, he essentially goes all across his universe describing things, giving Job an unbelievable perspective of just how small he actually is. So in verses 4 to 7, he starts to talk to Job about what goes on in the earth. He says, where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Who stretched the line upon it? It's just simply talking about the earth. And then from verses 8 to 11, he starts talking about the sea. He says, or who shut in the sea with doors when it burst out from the womb, when I made clouds its garments, thick darkness its swaddling band, and prescribed limits for its bars and doors, and said, thus far shall you come and no farther. And then he goes on and he starts talking about the dawn, the morning. Verse 2, I give you command in the morning since your days began, and cause the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the skirts of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it. He's taking Job all across this world, showing him, do you know the universe like I do? And then in verses 16 to 18, he simply starts talking about the endlessness of it all, the depth of it all. 16, have you entered into the springs of the sea or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been revealed to you, or have you seen the gates of deep darkness? Have you comprehended the expanse of the earth? Declare if you know all this, Job. In a way, he's putting Job back in his place. Now, doesn't it sound odd? If you stand back and think about it, you might say, good grief, this is not what I'd like to hear if I were in Job's position. And then we go back to, this is an interesting point. Can we always trust what we say that our values are? And what do you mean by that? Well, in the middle of suffering, we often say, my greatest value is to be relieved of this suffering. But what if God is saying, no, daughter, no, son, The greatest thing for you right now is for me to lead you to righteousness. In fact, that's what he's doing with Job. But he doesn't stop there either. From verses 19 to 21, he talks about the light and the dark, that God holds these things in his hands. 19, where is the way of the dwelling of light, and where is the place of darkness, that you may take it to its territory, and that you may discern the paths of its home? It's interesting. And so he takes Job from the earth to the sea to the dawn to all its endlessness, to light and dark. He starts to take Job to the world above after he's given him a perspective of the world below. He says that, verse 22, have you entered the storehouses of snow, or have you seen the storehouses of hail? But think about how wonderful, how amazing this is. And we understand it, even as we saw a storm this morning, God doesn't have a storehouse and buckets of hail ready to dump down when storms come raging across the land. But remember, this is poetry. This is what's called wisdom literature. We can understand the sentiment behind this. God himself works all things to accomplish what he wills, even in nature. He controls. I mean, just think about how amazing hail is and snow is. Have you ever seen a picture of a snowflake? How beautiful that is. Have you ever wondered why in the world do we think that something like that's beautiful? Because God has made it that way. He even made it for us to enjoy it. Oh, how we take it for granted. And then hail. Hail doesn't just form and then fall out of the sky. It's actually ice that goes up and down and gathers more as it goes up and as it gets higher in the atmosphere where it's cooler, and falls down and it comes back up, and eventually, after it gets heavy enough, when the winds can't lift it up anymore, it finally falls to the ground. That's amazing. He's showing Job all of this. Then in verse 25, and he's asking Job, you know from where all this comes from? He says, who has cleft the channel for the torrents of rain and a way for the thunderbolt, to bring rain on a land where no man is, on a desert in which there is no man, to satisfy the waste and desolate land, to make the ground sprout with grass. All of this movement of things in his world is according to God. And Job is getting told this. And can't you imagine his reaction? His eyes getting big. Wow. I had no idea. I was over here complaining. I had no idea. 28, he says, has the rain a father? And he says in 29, from whose womb did the ice come forth, and who has given birth to the frost of heaven? Job, where do you think all of these things come from? Did you question my justice and the way I rule my world? And so he's still looking at his world. And now he finally starts to jump up. He says, all right, Job, I've shown you the earth. Let's go to the stars in verse 31. Can you bind the chains of Pleiades or loose the cords of Orion? Can you lead forth the Mazzaroth in their season? Or can you guide the bear with its children? Now likely, these are constellations. Now, I understand now, if you go out in the middle of the night, as long as you're not carried away by mosquitoes, you can see the stars. But even today, at least in the city, you can't see what you might be used to years ago, or let alone what you can see in the country, or let alone when you go out west, what you can see, say, from the Grand Canyon. But if you've ever gotten a chance to see the sky without light pollution, it is unreal what you can see above. It's not just that our Lord made this one star, the sun, for us to enjoy and see. They cover the whole sky that he has made. And all at the same time, he's handling and working all of them in their power. So our God isn't a pocket God for us in our suffering, is he? He's the one who knows the minuscule things and controls all of these 10 million things going on at once for his glory. Even in Job's life. He says in verse 33, do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? And so essentially here he says, well, maybe I've gone too high above you, Job. Let's go down to the earth. Verse 35. Can you send forth lightnings that they may go and say to you, here we are? Who has put wisdom in the inward parts, or even understanding to the mind? Who can number the clouds by wisdom, or who can tilt the water skins of the heavens? The dust runs into a mass. The clods stick fast together. Just let the scriptures in their poetic way just show you his glory in this. So he comes down and talks about the rain, and then in verse 39 he starts talking about the animals. Can you hunt the prey for the lion? Or satisfy the appetite of the young lions when they crouch in their dens or lie in wait in their thicket? Who provides the raven its prey? See, in our culture, it's so easy at the same time to look at what we see out here. And just this morning when I was coming to church, I saw some deer standing over here. Friday, when I was here at church, I saw 2 herons and a bunch of turkey buzzards out there in the field, just pecking through everything. And then if you go to the pond out here, you can see the brim swing around in their childlike way, as beautiful as they are. But so often when we look at these things in God's world, what we're told to see from the world is science. See, we can explain how this works and how this is put together. And that is good. This is God's world. But I think we all too often forget, as the Lord is teaching Job, to just simply look at it and its beauty and stand in awe of it. God has made these creatures to roam around where we live simply because it pleases him to do so. How wonderful is that? And so when we come to the end of this chapter, what I hope we're struck with is just the absolute endlessness of God's reality in this world. It's amazing. And then we come, I won't go through all these, but in chapter 39, verses 9 through 12, he starts describing the ox. In verses 13 through 18, he starts describing the ostrich and how it makes bad decisions even sometimes. But that's in his sovereign will as well. And then in 19 through 25, he starts describing the glory and the amazing thing that a horse is. And then in 26 through 30, he starts describing birds of prey, or eagles and hawks come and swoop down. And so when we come to the end of these 2 chapters, we're simply struck with that Job cannot, neither can we, comprehend all of this. Let me ask you, how many of you can multitask? None of God's people said amen, did they? No. Have you ever watched a horse with the blinders on to keep it going in one direction? We do need that sometimes, but that's often what we are reduced to simply because of our nature. We are created beings. Now, just for a moment, if we can even imagine it, imagine having 10 million things going on at once. And all of those 10 million things are not just trying to maybe cook and write something at the same time, but holding the sun in its power at the right place, the planets going around at the right speed, all that we can sit here and breathe. And not only that, but at the same time, a hawk somewhere has just swooped down to get a mouse for its meal. At the same time, in South Dakota, wild burros are just simply roaming, and we don't know where they're going or what they're doing. At the same time, sharks are swimming in the sea, getting their lunch. All at the same time. So God says, Job, I don't think you understand what I'm doing. I'm going to show it to you. And so what does he say? The Lord said to Job in chapter 40, verse 1 and 2, shall a fault finder contend with the Almighty? Goodness. He who argues with God, let him answer it. And so he says, I've shown you this, Job. Now let you speak. What does Job say? This is wonderful. Watch Job's response. Then Job answered the Lord and said, behold, I'm of small account. What shall I answer you? And he said, I'll lay my hand over my mouth. Job's response is silence. I have spoken once, and I will not answer twice. I will proceed no further. What's his response here? He is humbled before God's power. And as we move on, I think you'll see what purpose this serves. But for us, before we get to the second point, what this means, we need to recognize where we stand before God. It's amazing. Even as we were doing the response reading about thankfulness, we often think, yeah, if someone's just going after sin, if they're liars, if they're mean, if they're whatever we want to name to these things, they need to realize where they stand before God. But we don't often think about that when we've gone through suffering and all of a sudden things start jumping out in our hearts that we're like, well, we have a right to feel this way because we're hurting, we're in pain. And God comes and says, hey, you're mine in my world. You don't have the rights that you think you do. And we hear such a thing and we think, well, good grief, that kind of hurts. But I want you to understand, too, he doesn't even, we don't deserve to hear from him. And he speaks to us, holds us like a father. He says, come here, child. I hear you. Let me teach you. So what's this humble child's response? Silence. Oh, good grief, Lord. Wow. Okay. But notice the change in Job's heart as he says this. He's been fussing and whining in these chapters before. And even as God says what may seem harsh to us, notice his response when God speaks at all. He's still. He's actually okay. So we need to recognize where we stand before God in our sin. He's sovereign. We are not. And in fact, he uses suffering to reveal himself to you. We said this before last week. But we need to ask the question, does might make right? That's difficult. Someone's stronger than you, maybe smarter than you, just what they say, just simply, or what they do, is it right just because of that? Maybe not in that situation, right? We don't want to say that. But we need to recognize, too, that there is only one God. So the answer to that can be yes and no. So we come to point number 2. As we think about this might and right, we need to submit according to God's justice. We find the answer to this, or rather the question, I suppose, about might making right in verses 6 through 9, chapter 40. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind, there's a storm here. He says, dress for action like a man. I'll question you and you make it known to me. Will you even put me in the wrong? Will you condemn me that you may be in the right? Have you an arm like God? Can you thunder with a voice like his? And God is saying, Job, I am more powerful than you. Now, we don't want to apply this to everyday life, do we? We are not right simply because we might be stronger or smarter than some of our peers. We don't want to apply to us, do we? But I hope this makes sense. We understand that that doesn't work in real life. With our peers, family, and such. But who's the plumb line by which we say that that's not right? It is God. He is the all-powerful one. So we can say, in regards to him, yes, might does make right. Because he created it all. But when we say that, it does not mean that he's arbitrary. He's not just simply a God that stays up here and doesn't deal with his people down here. Notice the fact that he's answering and teaching Job. But he tells him, have you an arm like me? Are you as strong as I am? Do you know what I know? As a father may tell his son when he's being rebellious. Isn't it interesting? Sometimes we do need to hear, and I think we're also in a day and time where we think this is just so bad. God is more powerful than we are. We are the created ones. He is the creator. There is nothing wrong with saying that. So he is judge and the ruler and the plumb line. The one by which everything else in the world is measured. So what happens here? Well, as we finish this out, 2 things happen. Then the second challenge, God challenges Job to understand his justice and power. And then Job responds with submission. So notice what happens in these next verses. He says to Job, okay, Job, adorn yourself with majesty in verse 10 and dignity. Clothe yourself with glory and splendor. Pour out the overflowings of your anger and look on everyone who is proud and abase him. Look on everyone who is proud and bring him low, and tread down the wicked where they stand. Saying, okay, Job, if you want to question me, then do the things that I do in my justice and my power. Do you know how to sovereignly reveal the pride in a man in his life by introducing things in his life and also caring for him at the same time? Well, no, we can't. Neither can we. But before we say, well, good grief, that's a lot. That's maybe not again what I want to hear when I'm in pain. Notice how purposeful and particular God is in his world. It may seem like I'm railing against the culture this morning, but we also live in a day and time, even in the Christian world, where we jerk back when we hear of God's sovereignty in his world. And I don't want to rail against that. I want to kind of help us understand, even myself understand, what we mean when we say that God is God. He is not a distant God. And praise God. Can you imagine going through what Job went through, and then God just saying, well, I'm not quite sovereign over everything, Job. Sorry, buddy, I'm going to have to leave you where you are, and you'll have to figure it out. We look at the precision with which he answers Job. And how he works with people in his world. Good grief. I mean, verses 10 through 14, and again, in verse 12, look on everyone who is proud and bring him low. How in the world does God do that? I mean, have you ever thought how crazy it is that God knows how to humble us? Because good grief, I know I'm stubborn. No one else is usually able to do that. It takes God. But not only that, he treads down the wicked where they stand. If we look at the chaos around us right now, we can go, well, I guess God's arbitrary. No, he's not. He knows exactly what's going on. In fact, not far from this in your Bibles, Psalm 2. Why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? You know God's response? He who sits in the heavens laughs. The only way God can laugh at such things is if it is truly comical, that people would think that they are in his place in control. And so we come to the question when we see these verses 10 to 14, can Job do it? Well, no, neither can we. Now notice what he says in verse 14. Then will I also acknowledge to you that your own right hand can save you. Notice what he says. Job, if you can do all this, then pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Which Job knows he can't do that. And so do we. And so then, the end of chapter 40 and in chapter 41, after bringing forth, saying, go look at my glory, he holds up these great beasts, Behemoth and Leviathan. Now we could chase all the details about these things, but I'm going to be honest with you this morning. What they are eludes me. People say they are all kinds of different things, from hippopotamus to crocodile to mythical creatures, because this is wisdom literature. It's a story. It is real, in fact. Job is real. This is real. So besides getting in the weeds, we can at least look at them and say, wow, and understand what the author of what God is doing here. These things, whatever they are, however they're described, are unbelievable. And God controls them within their power. So he says, behold Behemoth. You don't speak of something to behold unless it is pretty amazing. And then he asks Job in chapter 41, verse 1, can you draw out Leviathan with a fish hook or press down his tongue with a cord? No, but God can, is the assumption in asking that question. So whatever these creatures are, God controls them too. And so then, I want to jump to these 6 verses in chapter 42. This will be our last look at Scripture here. How does Job respond to all this? It says, then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that you can do all things, that no purpose of yours can be thwarted. It's pretty amazing what you see here. Now I'll go ahead and jump in with the application, even though I was going to wait a little bit for that. This first thing we see happening with Job is that he submits to God's sovereignty. I know that you can do all things. Church, our God is not limited whatsoever. stands up there above us, distant from us, like some Norse god or some sort, or Greek or Roman god, who doesn't live according to principles that he's set forth, according to a nature. He's not someone who we have to fear that he might change his mind. God is unchangeable. He is true according to his nature. He is the source, the good, the beautiful, the wonderful. All of it finds its source in him. And he never changes, not from Genesis 1 to the end of Revelation. But when we see that he submits to God's sovereignty, y'all, that is a hard thing to do in suffering. Because our sinful nature wants to rail against him and throw up our fists and say, but Lord. And we have done that. But I encourage you, look at the story of Job. Just walk through it and follow him. Let him teach you how to suffer well, even. But also let it comfort you that you're not expected in your suffering to suffer perfectly. In fact, that's part of the point. That God knows it will stir up things for you to see. I want to make this point as well. It says that no purpose of yours can be thwarted. Whatever God seeks to do in your life, he will accomplish it. It cannot, will not be thwarted. Ever. Understand, he is sovereign in the particulars. I don't understand. Y'all, I don't either. That's the point. That's what he was telling Job. I don't understand how he is that powerful and that amazing. He controls these beasts and all the stars all at the same time. And yet he says, okay, JP, you can get whatever you want to for lunch today. I don't know, y'all. But I know that's my God, and that's all I need. Be satisfied with not knowing all that he knows, but with knowing who he is that loves you. Because Job wanted to know y'all, didn't he? Lord, why? Why? Come on. God says, you can't. I can't believe it's going to quote this. You can't handle the truth. So here it is. What I hope for us, and I know I'm going along with this, I pray that we can just enjoy the power and the sovereignty of God. I've heard people say before, and I think I've mentioned this before, long ago back, someone told me something about when people are suffering and the bad things are going on in the world, they don't need to hear that God's in control. Oh, yes, we do. It's exactly what God was telling Job. Because if he's not, we are in trouble. The second thing you see is this. It's a bit ironic, but this is serious stuff. He simply recognizes his own ignorance. That's hard, y'all. Verse 3, who is this that hides counsel without knowledge? He's quoting God. This is what God has said. Therefore I have uttered what I did not understand, things too wonderful for me which I did not know. Job says, Lord, okay, I do not understand. But guess what? He's okay with it. I think that's a big stumbling block in understanding God's word, is that we come with it with such high expectations to actually be God when we're reading his word. Be okay with not getting it all. And that includes in his world. I don't understand physics. I don't have to enjoy it. And then lastly, he repents. That's an odd thing to find in the middle of suffering, isn't it? But I want to tell you too, wherever you find yourself in suffering, you can expect to come across these things sometimes. expectation make a big difference in how you walk in hurt. He says, "Hear, and I'll speak, I will question you, and you make it known to me." That's what God said in verse 4. Verse 5, "I had heard of you by the hearing of ear, but now my eye sees you. Therefore I despise myself." And what's his response to this? After seeing God, seeing his works, he repents in dust and ashes. It's interesting here, even in my footnotes of my Bible, that the word for repent can also mean and comforted. It's interesting that those two things would come together. And so the last thing that Job helps us see is that we need to repent of the sin God has revealed. Expect when you're hurting, when you are suffering, whatever it may be, that God has ordained it, and he will lead you to repentance in it and from it. So, Lord, why does it take that to get me to get there? I hope you know yourself. I understand that we are sinners. As I spoke with myself earlier, I know, at least for me, I am hard-headed. I need it. And so when you've walked and lost, you can come back and all of a sudden perhaps you realize, maybe my faith wasn't what I thought it was. Or thank you for revealing that I need more of it. Give that to me, Lord. And it is as simple as that now. In sickness, my Lord, I took a lot of things for granted. You have revealed that to me and taken away from me. I repent of my sin, Father. I'm thankful now. So see how caring he is in all of this. We wouldn't have completed this, wouldn't be sufficient. We don't say the solution in all of this is to look to the cross in the middle of your suffering. And guess what? The cross isn't a place that just simply makes it go away. Some folks will tell you that. The cross isn't a place that answers all your hopes and dreams. Some people will tell you that. The cross is a place that gives you life eternal. If you come up to it, you see it in God's Word, be prepared to see the darkness of your heart for what it is. When you get to that place, don't freak out. Understand, that's on purpose. That's what it takes to come to repentance and believe in Jesus Christ. And that's how, this is just wonderful, but in Romans, I believe it's Romans 5, 1 through 5. How in the world can Paul say, he starts off talking about being justified by faith in Christ alone. And then he proceeds to talk about suffering, how suffering builds character. And he names a myriad of things, and then he goes, but it doesn't put our hope to shame. How can he do that? Well, God's been working this way for all of eternity. And we could live on the other side of the cross and enjoy it. And so what do we find in suffering that we could not find otherwise? Let me close on this. We are given a purging of sin and a deeper relationship with God. And so for believers, and I say this forthright, because I need it as well, stop rebelling and submit to God. Hear that. For non-believers, same thing. Stop rebelling and submit to God by trusting in Christ for life. I hope this helps you. I hope this is wonderful to see God's glory in this. Let's close in prayer this morning. Father, thank you for your word, Lord. It always is amazing just how much thinking that, or perhaps, I guess I fooled myself that I won't see more of you when we dive into it. Just my sin tripping up. And I'm surprised and amazed to find far more than I expected. Lord, so thank you for that, Father. I pray that you teach us to suffer well as saints and believers. And Lord, that if we are still in rebellion against you, in your world, against your holiness, against your glory, Father, that you would pull back the curtain of the sin in our hearts. Lord, that you would jerk us out of our rebellion. And leave us in absolute awe of your power. That you would be merciful enough to send your Son. Merciful